This is throwing me off, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to pull it off well. All right, 10 seconds. We got Miranda and Caitlin doing this week's vault. Nope. Yep. Yep.
We got it.
Then 60 shared power clamps.
Okay, perfect.
40 push-ups each.
Yep.
60 shared front squats.
Cool.
40 push-ups each. 60 shared squat.
All right, here we go. Got it.
A lot of push-ups.
All right, Kariana, how you feeling about this workout? What you think?
I feel like it's a lot of push-ups. I think
it's a lot of push-ups.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the major thing that maybe gets you on this one. This first set looks great, and then it might slow down a bit. But I see that they're breaking them up smart.
So you think the barbell is just kind of like the resting section?
Yeah, maybe not the resting section, but I feel like because they're also sharing them, so they get a little rest. You know, I go, you go. I think when they get back to the push-ups, people might be a little surprised to feel that like fatigue, even going into the second set. You know, maybe people think it's the barbell, but really it's sneaky and it's the push-ups. That's what I think.
No, this is definitely, but however, now here's what I'm going to throw at you. How is this different? Does this favor men over women?
Ooh, well, then there's the question of like,
I'll crush you.
Body weight, light. I mean, I think our women are pretty, their push-ups are pretty legit. These guys look like they're not having any problems. So, you know, there's always the stamina piece. But I don't know. We'll see. It looks like they're like halfway. I'm thinking they're like
I would
somewhere
say
around
that
20.
what I've seen, and what I mean by that is because a lot of, when it comes to this upper body push, that's where like, so Miranda's got good strength on her bench and everything. But when it comes to, like the push-up stamina, you know, when you're comparing the two, they have, yes, I think that we just have more time because we favored the movements like the upper body push in general in our upbringing. And I think that really works in our favor when it comes to push-ups and just in general, the upper body strength. But again, that's just a very specific on the push-up, you know?
Yeah. I think if you break them up though, and you're smart about it, at some point, you're not going to go unbroken on the whole thing anyway. So I think it'll kind of even out at some point. I think just don't go out like a, you know, crazy person trying to get all 40 in right out the gate, and you should be okay. But I think they're splitting these up in like sixes. What do you think about small sets with this weight? I don't know. You think that's the right call?
I think absolutely breaking up often from the beginning because by the time you get to the third set of push-ups, because I mean by that point you're going in 120 push-ups deep, right? Totally. Yeah, break them up early, and that way save what you have for the last section. So approach it into sets of 5, or it's 40 of them, right? So you said they were breaking them up into sets of 6. I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah, it's 60 of the barbell always. So 40 push-ups, 60 barbell. So I think they're each going to do 5 sets of 6. Well, 60 total. 60 total.
Yeah,
so
that's
yeah. But yeah, I think keeping the barbell moving quick is smart.
Totally.
I feel like the movement, so they're going clean, and then they're going to go to squat. I feel like the front squat's going to be rough going into that front rack. So I feel like they're getting away with like the easier movement.
I remember this one actually. Yeah, by the time you get to the squat cleans, it hits like it becomes its own workout at that section at that point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's the barbell is getting progressively harder and more taxing on the shoulders as your shoulders get more tired. So you're kind of like increasing difficulty, in my opinion, on this one.
When you look at a workout like this, what kind of weight do you feel like using?
Ooh. Well, I mean, I feel like if we're going these short sets, so like keeping unbroken sets and really basing it on the squat clean. I mean, for me these days, it probably, if I'm honest, it's not going to be more than like 85, 95.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't squat clean a lot, but I feel like it could be a little bit misleading to think, oh yeah, I can do 5, power cleans, but you're not. You got to take into account the fatigue and the
Big
difficulty
time.
increasing. Yeah. What would you would go with
Totally.
135 or?
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't go heavier than that. Yeah, totally. Especially if I'm trying to hold, what is it, 60 at the end, 60 shared barbell squat cleans. Oh yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
and even if I go 135, I'm doing sets of like maybe 3 or 4. It's gonna get rough. Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
no heavier than 135 for sure.
Well, they're breaking up the push-ups more often. I'm seeing Miranda for sure is like going sets of 4, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to get to that point where you don't have one in the tank. Like that's the thing. You got to keep one in the tank or they go away. I feel like with the
That that
push-ups.
that one in the tank is only save that for Murph.
Yeah. Oh boy. I like
Dang. Okay,
the
so what do we have? Do you have the shift version of this workout?
Yeah, so the shift version. Ooh, let me find that. I was just looking at this. So the shift version, you are doing like an AMRAP.
Okay.
So that's kind of nice that you are doing push-ups and 10 hang power cleans. So, and then you're going to go into a dumbbell squat. So you're having like smaller sets and you're breaking up more of an AMRAP. So you're not getting these huge sets in. Um, so your stamina should not be as much of an issue. You're kind of getting that full
Awesome.
push, breaking it up. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, this is actually, I was just thinking about the movements. And for those people that actually really enjoyed, I was like, um, how can you up this as far as like an extra challenge when I look at like this? Because especially if you
Hmm.
don't want to go heavier. So then what do you
Yeah,
do?
yeah.
And I would say this, for those people that really enjoyed the rucking workouts,
Hmm.
I think that it would work too if for anybody out there's like, you know what, I want to throw a ruck on because I'm like trying to look at it's power clean, which is totally fine. The ruck's not going to bother you. Front
Right.
squats or even squat cleans. Yeah, I think if you want to handicap yourself by throwing on like a weighted object on your body, that's another way to
Yeah.
go a little extra challenge on this. But again, figure out what works, especially if you're doing the team version of this workout. I love how they're able to stay with each other, even through the push-up section. I mean, Miranda wasn't having to wait long before they both met at the
Yeah,
barbell,
yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
Caitlin's doing great.
Yeah. And I think it's like talking about, scaling yourself to pick the right push up for you that allows you to be getting those 4 reps in. So, if it's on the knees like Caitlin's doing, but it should be all evening out. If you're like a push up ninja, then yeah, maybe you should put a weight vest on or go deficit even. Like, but it,
Absolutely, yes. A deficit push-up would actually be really, yeah, totally. That'd be great,
yeah, so
actually.
that's kind of cool to keep yourself. You shouldn't be finishing like minutes before your partner. Like it should be within seconds. Um,
Totally.
yeah, no,
If
I,
I would look at a workout like this too sometimes, and if I had like someone who favored handstand push-ups, I'd be like,
oh
let's go
yeah,
handstand push-ups.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so many things you could do with it. I think the push up, people forget that there's so many variations. I mean, you could make it terrible. You could put 2 hands on one kettlebell and your
Woo!
triceps will never be the same. You could do, deficit with hands on the kettlebell, stability. So, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Would you do this with a sandbag? So,
Um,
how do you
would
feel
I do
about
this
doing
with?
this with? So that one of the versions of this is with a sandbag. Um, I think it'd be kind of cool to do with a D ball or something like super
Yes, if I did
uncomfortable.
it, yes, I would say I think a fun version of this would be with a D ball because if you do power, D ball to shoulder for your first section,
Mm-hmm.
and then a D ball bear squats, and then going for the last section D ball squat cleans, that would be super fun. It'd be a fun way to change it up. Totally.
There we go. So they're still, what are they on? They're 2. I'm thinking they're probably trying to stick with the same reps. 6.
Are you guys holding sixes? Nice. Yep, they're holding sixes here.
Nice. How are the
Nice.
shoulders feeling? I wonder if
Let
they're
me let
getting
me
that
uh, let me
burn
let me
yet.
gauge it in a little bit. Let me gauge it.
Yeah.
How your shoulders,
Nothing
Kate?
worse. Nothing worse than asking about, hey, how are those shoulders feeling?
Hey, you doing good over there? Are you hitting this one with Bill?
Yeah, we're gonna do it on Sunday after Chad. So Chad is tomorrow, and then we'll do this one on Sunday, which should be a lot of fun. And we don't do barbells as often, but I
Right.
really I like this one for barbells because it is like almost like responsibly breaking it up. It kind of gives you that way. If you're not doing barbells a lot, you're not just like holding on to the thing for 15, 20 reps,
I know, and that's
yeah.
rough in itself right there. Totally, totally. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Here we
What are
go.
these?
Third
How are
set
these
here.
looking? Last set of push-ups. So they can kind of
Okay.
push it here, right? Because you don't need to do more push-ups. So kind of going to the edge, I think, on that last set is okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And another thing too, for those of you guys watching, don't be afraid to ever change it up too. Like if you are with a partner and you're like, oh man, I'm like flying by, it definitely to throw in some deficits in there,
Yeah. Yeah.
throw in some deficits in there.
Yeah, I think people
Something
sometimes
like a
get
quick
locked
change.
in. They like won't make a change once they're committed. But I mean, even you could do the first set one way, the second set another way, the third set like you could progress this. First set push up,
Absolutely.
second set deficit, third set handstand, or go maybe inverse, harder to easier since the barbell movement's getting harder. That could be kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally.
The
Let me see here.
creativity is endless.
Oh, I mean, totally. Totally. Okay. Oh, how you feeling over there?
Halfway? Oh boy.
Over halfway? Okay, Maria's like 24 push-ups in. They're about 11 minutes in on the workout.
Oh, nice.
Doing great. Because this last squat clean section is going to take them probably like a good 4
Yeah.
minutes.
So
For
I
sure.
think I wonder if they're going to break it into like fours on this with the squat cleans. I feel like it
Nice.
takes a little longer. It's a little more brutal on the shoulders. So maybe they'll cut the reps a little bit from 6 to 4.
Oh, yeah. For those of
Oh,
you
those
guys
shoulders are
watching
burning.
on the members IG, I'm curious, how many of you are doing the workout as is, or are you going to change it up and kind of tweak it, go fitness freedom on this? Curious to see how you guys are going to approach this. Let me know. Laggy RA, what's going on? Good to see you. There we go. Okay. Caitlin's powering through.
Last little bit here. Yep.
You know what? Okay.
They're
I'm
looking
glad you
pretty
brought that up.
good.
Caitlin was like, ow, my wrist. What I would say to that, you want to give them a little pitch on how to customize that if people have wrist issues?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, a good thing to keep the wrist neutral would be like putting dumbbells, having your hands on dumbbells. You could obviously put them on a low box, but anything to get the wrist in like a neutral position is going to help with that pressure down on the wrist for sure.
Absolutely. There we go. Here we go. Need to
right.
customize the push-ups, probably hands elevated. I love the D-ball ideas. Absolutely. Do the D-ball idea. Looking forward to seeing how that goes. It's going to be super fun. Super fun.
All right, so let's see how they're going to break this up. Miranda's holding strong here for 2. All right, so they're going 2s. So at this point, I think it's like just trying to keep
Oh, yeah.
moving.
Totally.
Yeah. And the
Cool.
shoulders are
Angelica,
probably
good luck.
lit.
I'm curious to see, yeah. Let's see how many sets they
There we
knock
go.
out. Yeah.
So how do you
And there's
feel when you look
no-
at these? Do you think about like even, like I know a lot of people get really wrapped up around like even reps. How do you feel about that? Like versus one person doing more reps than the
hold
other?
something that keeps you dialed in. Maybe towards the second half, then I'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna go 6 or 7. And make sure I go, but not to like sloppiness or failure.
Sure.
As I'm getting ready to close out the workout, but I'm not. Yeah, I need something to keep me dialed in.
Yep.
Totally.
Yeah, something you can kind of lock into mentally too. Like, okay, it's only I can do these. You don't want to go into that like. I think when you go dip too deep into that extra one, you kind of burn out mentally. If you can keep yourself just ahead of that, falling into that pit until you're almost at the end, I think it's helpful.
Yeah, totally. And one of the things too, like if you are someone that's good at going singles on squat clean, that's another way you can just keep moving. And that's why it's so important for the weight to be appropriate for the workout, because the last thing you want is like picking up the weight and rounding your lower back. You want to be able to at any time pick up that weight, knowing that you could bang out a set of 5+ if you wanted to.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's where people get a little confused sometimes. It's like, well, I could do 5, but they'll maybe bite off a little more than they can chew. But you can, try to think about where you're going to be at the end of this workout and dial it back a little bit. And then if you can go faster, great. But yeah, the singles are a great way to go. I think just quick singles are awesome. I just saw Bill commented, Bill, we're doing this workout, so I'm glad you think that they look dialed in. We'll hopefully look equally as good when we're suffering through this.
Nice. I bet Miranda's loving this after our flight in.
Yes.
I don't know how you guys used to do. Did you ever have to travel cross country overseas, Kariana?
Yeah, I did. I wasn't traveling through like over to Asia and as far as that, but sometimes a workout's really good though for jet lag. They say that the best thing for jet lag is food, exercise, and like keeping your meal times steady, getting some exercise, and going to bed at the right time. Those 3 things. You got to get back on track, and they should help your system. So this
Ooh,
is
ouch,
helping her. This is helping her.
That's good. 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 I'll remind her of that.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
They gotta be closing
Legs are
it
gonna
out
feel
here.
it. The legs are on fire. On fire.
Oh boy. All right, now she's going 3, so she's digging in a little bit here. She's up in the reps.
What number are you guys on? 45. 15
All
left.
right.
There we go. Woo.
Wow, that's all right. Caitlin's looking good. She's pulling herself under that bar quick. Get it done.
Rachel Perryman in the house. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Ooh.
All right, we're coming on the last 10 here.
Are you a grunter? I'm an internalizer.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
suffer in silence.
I feel like once I started grunting, I never went back. Like it just felt so good that then I was like, I can't. And I used to kind of be like, why are people grunting? But now I understand. It feels good.
That's good. That's good.
Bill can
Man, they
explain
have
why
less than 10 reps left.
thing with grunting and the vagus
3 reps
nerve,
left.
So
Here we go.
let's see if Miranda's going to take them all. I think she is. Caitlin backed away, so it's all Miranda. She's.
Woo! That's when you know.
There
That's that communication. There we go. 1651. Nice. Ouch.
Wow.
The legs. The push-ups aren't even a thing.
Wow.
I really do believe that this workout is gonna. It's in the last section, the squat cleans. Everything else is kind of like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Getting up to that point, it's kind of like an escalating. Like whenever workouts escalate, it's just tough. But it's so good. It's such a good mental thing to make things get harder, not just getting easier as you go. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Look at that, Kariana. They even finished with giving you plenty of time.
Nice. Thank you, guys. Thank you for really going that extra mile.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, what was goal time?
What's up? Goal time. I don't have it with me. But
well,
yeah, I don't. Let me see here. Rachel Perryman. Hey, I can't believe you guys didn't hop over to Ireland. We're so close to trying to plan a trip to the US next year or two. We will be offended if you don't stop by HQ. So Caitlin can get you guys some little goodies. But here's one thing, Rachel, I will say is I look forward to going back in that area and maybe even getting like a van and touring around a little bit. Super cool seeing that, traveling in that zone. Go ahead, Kariana.
So I think the goal time, part 1 was like 4 to 7 minutes, part 2, 5 to 8, and part 3, 6 to 9. So obviously
Nice.
it was
Well, they nailed
accounting
it.
for, so like 15 to 20 minutes. So they were really good. That was great.
That's awesome. There we go. Have you done any of the bro sessions?
Yeah, that one, I don't even know which one it was. I guess it was this week, Wednesday. I'm sort of doing things on off days, not on the actual dates program, so I'm all mixed up. But
No,
but I
totally.
love the idea of putting it. Like I've been on like a strength a strength kick. So I love any of the strength stuff is
Nice.
absolutely awesome.
Oh
to
my
have.
gosh. Wow. I'll give you this. Here you go. You can take it off the phone. And over here for the people on three-party members, you guys get to see a
What is this? What is this? StreamYard? I can't. Hold on. I can't. How do I turn it around? Well, this is my broken phone still, too.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
My Rocktober phone.
Yeah, there you go.
What I will say is I feel like we both chose the right weight.
Yes.
I was going to go 75, but I went 85 instead, which I feel like you picked the right weight if in a workout like this, the last like 3 or 4 sets, you think you chose the wrong weight. Like you wish you would have gone lighter, but you're still able to do the reps. So we made like a small little tweak on the squat cleans. Instead of doing 2-2 for the last half, we did 2 and 3. Caitlin was doing 2 and I was doing 3 to just like allow us to keep moving. But going to it knowing that the push-ups are, I mean, you're just gonna have to break them up for most people. I think extra challenge might have more push-ups. I'd have to look. So if you're really good at push-ups, you can go the extra challenge push-up reps if that's available. And you can do that even if you don't want to use a heavier weight. Like, don't feel like you always have to do like all the options of extra challenge. So my tip is break it up. I think the 6s worked really good for the first 2 parts, especially for the front squats, because you're not going to want to pick the bar back up for smaller sets. But then just know that the squat cleans are going to be rough, but you're going to make it. So I'll let Caitlin give some tips. Oh, here you go. Oh, my butt.
I mean, I don't really have any tips. I always just say if you can work out someone that pushes you harder, that has that higher level of fitness, it's always fun. I was telling Miranda, there's at one point where she's like, pick up the bar. And I was like, oh, I rested way too long.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would never have gotten 16 individually, it probably would take me way longer just by myself. So always find someone that can push you harder and, it helps you push that intensity.
Very cool. Later, guys. All right, and that's a wrap. I think that's great. Great
Cool.
chatting with all of you today. Good to see you all. I don't even know which
All
camera
right,
to look at.
Julian, when are you going to do this one? When are you doing this one, Julian?
I don't know. Maybe I'll do
Maybe
it today.
right
I'm gonna see if
now.
I
Just right
DH, if you're
now.
still watching, head over here. Let's knock out this fitness.
All right,
We got
let's
this
go.
like new camera that we're testing out. So we're super pumped.
Have
Yeah.
fun.
Thank you. All right,
All
take
right,
care.
have a good weekend,
Bye-bye.
everybody. Bye.